because when you think back to actually what this team and their makeup was like, you know, MCC, they all had won previously before, minus Ace and Lethal being in the place of that one there. They have done it before, but how does that compare now to Halo Infinite?
I think it builds a lot of trust amongst each other coming into a new game and a new tournament. Everybody has confidence in each other on this Sentinels roster as far as we've been there, we've done that. We know when we're playing well as a group, we can win a tournament. So I think the Sentinels roster is going to come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but honestly, a lot of confidence with that chip to kind of ruin expectations of what people may think this Quadrant roster is capable of.
This first series, Mark, you and I were talking about how we really couldn't ask for a better Series 1 here in terms of the storylines coming in. You look at Sentinels, you look at Quadrant, two teams with very different stories, however, a pretty similar target for both of them in terms of final placing.
Oh, 100%. Both these teams, it's a minimum of top 6, you would say, to have a successful tournament. We'll start off by talking about Sentinels, right? Because it's a new-look lineup. 3 of them, like they spoke about on the desk, have played together before, and most importantly, won a championship doing so. Back on MCC, back on Halo Reach. So they know what it takes to win an event. But some of the team changes that went down, maybe some tough decisions had to be made. We saw the splitting of the longtime duo in Spartan and King Nick, and then we've seen the roster kind of come together. 2 members of the previous G1 roster joining, and on paper, we feel like the chemistry might be there to have success.
As we take back a look at the Sentinels on the left side of your screen, talking a little bit more about them, I think one question you and I still have, even with this new lineup of these 4 players, is really where is the responsibility of play calls, right? An open question. I think we're thinking largely it can and maybe should be Lethal in terms of what he's able to do. Vocally, we heard him, I think, most notably during the listen-ins at Charlotte. He sounded really confident in his play calling, and you have to think he's probably the one they're going to look to in these games as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat of a new role for him as well, I would say. Usually TJ's a great communicator, one of the best in the game, but he's not the person who's going to be saying, hey, let's do this right now, let's make this play. And I think he kind of naturally, looking at his progression in his career, it seems like a role that would fit on this roster, especially with the teammates he has alongside him. But for now, it looks like we're almost ready to get back into game number 1 and kick this tournament off, Andy. Like we said, it's going to be Oddball on streets, and it's a fascinating game type to start between these 2 squads.
It really will be now as we are officially into game number 1 here, and the tournament is kicked off. The HCS Arlington Major, hosted by Optic Gaming. We already have a loud crowd in the building, which will only get louder. Also a sold-out crowd here in Arlington, Texas. So happy to be here. So happy to be underway with our first series.
Feels like the season really is underway now in Halo Infinite. Last event just a month or so ago, and we're straight back into even more action. And off the rip here, it's going to be 4 dead, you would imagine, as Chick lines one up onto Lethal. Quadrant with a hot start here. Control of Rockets and the Oddball, and a full setup here back A.
Maybe just slow things down for just a bit. They will take down 2, and important timing here with the Rockets up.
Yeah, Chick's going to have a 1v1 here. Really important kill. Falcator comes in to give a little bit of assistance here to Lethal. And the idea of why this is such an important round of kills, not only the Oddball, but the Rockets just dropped as well. Good cover fire coming in here. Seeker will be able to take down the Rocket player, so 1 Rocket still.
Interesting there. I think that Rocket does go. Yeah, it will be Chick with the trade there with Foul, so the Rockets will be out. But really interesting timing there, because I was really impressed with what we saw from Sentinels with the 3 dead just before the Rockets popped. To be honest, though, it took them a minute to actually get the Rockets in the end. However, even though those Rockets will just be traded out, we will see a lead change here as Sentinels will take the lead now, 30-23.
It's in the hands of Legend, and you can see Seeker, he's set up on the Commando.
Yeah, back and forth between these 2. Lead change will happen yet again. Quadrant will eke out a few more points. Good damage from Seeker. However, the push comes in. It's a nicely timed Sentinels push. 2 dead for Quadrant. Ball has to be played off of trash.
Yeah, Chick just trying to stay alive here. Make sure that ball is going to be pressured and that he's going to be able to do damage on his way to the grave. He does so, but like you say, the break has come in successfully here from Sentinels.
Really interesting to talk about that break. You actually had the players on Quadrant there, and Seeker just dropped. Ooh, good shots there from Spartan in the end.
A patience game. Everyone trying to get numbers on the map before they try and formulate a push. Legend taken down here means the Quadrant will have 2 players in the death screen, and not for the first time. The kills timed perfectly. Rockets picked up again here by Lethal. That's going to be Quadrant 3 dead, and a rocket in the hands here for Set.
Then the timing was great. Lethal's now able to hit from downtown as well. The crowd likes what they see. That rocket comes from Cafe, and Quadrant pays the price. They still have 2 dead. It's very good slaying control here from Sentinels.
Yeah, you're going to have to see Quadrant just slow down for a second here. They maybe have a chance at 1 more push before the first round goes into the hands of Sentinels. He's on the flank through the tram at the moment, and I tell you what, if they get these kills, this might be the first round going to Sentinels.
Wow, what a great way to watch that round from Lethal's POV there at the end. Convincing Halo, and you might think Lethal is well into his redemption arc story here as he's just playing great Halo month after month. Every time we see him on the main stage, we are more and more impressed with what we've seen from him here as he's now deep into year 2. Falcade eventually taken down in the Balk. That will actually continue the spawn staggered, so this next push from Sentinels, they need to be very careful. Boo Boo with some very important and good shots off the heaven. Almost sneaks out a ridiculous double.
Boo Boo's going to be challenging. SLG gets the help from Legend, but where are the rockets? It looks like Spartan has managed to get away with them.
Oh boy, somehow Boo Boo's staying alive on caution and creates enough distraction over on Rail that it allows them to get the rockets on the side of Sentinels. Pretty unacceptable on the side of Quadrant.
You can see one rocket is going to get damaged, but no kill. 51-14 is the score at the moment in this game, so Quadrant certainly answering back, but one rocket already expended, and it hasn't turned into ball time here for Sentinels.
Yeah, really nice job here from Sentinels to steal the rockets. However,
2 rockets.
As you say, and the second rocket doesn't hit either. I'm not sure if it went all the way. Couldn't tell you. Maybe it went all the way through the map there. It will be 3 dead for Quadrant, but Quadrant does get the ball tossed into the courtyard. Let's see how long Chick can stay alive.
Chick trying to do what he can. He's got a bulldog, and my goodness, that's
Whoa!
But Boo Boo sticks him in the guts, and that's going to be enough to take him down.
Big stick. Let's see if they can get the ball here. Still 2 dead. This should be a comfortable ball grab. They will easily escort this back up the tram stairs. 3 dead for Quadrant. At the moment, SLG was your last player alive. Now is it going to try to make this push happen with Chick? Rockets in 20 once again. See if he can stay alive. He's getting pinched here, but somehow gets away with it. He will stay alive in the back of tram.
2 of his teammates have fallen though, and it's time to see if my son can do something else in this game. Falcade is going to go away with the oddball though, and he's got the rockets! Trade comes in though, and all of a sudden Quadrant, who are on the precipice of tying this game up, well, they found the game's got a little bit messy here.
Also to the tram, this should be the final hold.
Yeah, you would think so, especially with Legend picking up the kill onto Spartan. It's one desperate push, but the pumps are coming in from SLG. He finds one with the Bulldog, and that will be the game. Tied up at 1-1, we have a deciding round to see who takes game 1. Damage output is where you need it to be as Cheek scrapes away, squeezes the cheeks, and gets around that corner.
Wow, very good cheek squeeze indeed. The rocket splash damage will come in on the caution. Look at the kills from SLG!
Oh, SLGG!
Threads the needle. Perfect timing from SLG.
Beautiful stuff, but the double is exchanged immediately. Really start to pick up here. It's the first game of the freaking tournament, and already we're seeing these teams going back and forth.
Yeah, this is wild. As you said, things have definitely kicked up in terms of the pacing and the intensity on the main stage. I think neither team, after how hard they've worked for their respective rounds, wants to drop this game number 1. In terms of the kills, Legend's your last player alive momentarily for Quadrant.
Legend thinking about a challenge, thinking about buying his time, and somehow Legend has managed to evade the attentions of Sentinels here as the last player alive, gets his shields back as well. And I tell you what, there's one player you don't want to do that to, it's Legend, because he can come back to bite you. There's one kill coming in from him, 2v2 on the map.
See what happens here at Laundry, a big battle. Spartan very comfortably wins that for the double. Can't get the ball out of tires, though. You can tell things are getting nervy here, right? Things are slowing down just a bit, a little bit more tactical play, as neither team wants to be the one making that mistake. Sika's still the lone player down on the map. Things get a little bit messy and wacky at the bottom of the tower. 3 dead. Legend is your last player alive yet again for Quadrant. Well, rockets now popping. This pushes everything here in this game.
Quadrant are timing it well. Spartan gets away with the rockets, but the oddball is in the hands here of Quadrant. Spartan's last alive. He uses one, he gets one kill.
You're 3 dead for Sentinels for the moment. It's a 1-man advantage at this second for Quadrant. Legend can't get away with the ball, though. That's a big, big effort coming in from Spartan.
Spartan's got the red gun as well. It's a 1v1 between Legend and Falcade.
Let's see what happens here. This might decide where the next hold goes.
Legend!
Good shots from Legend there to win it.
Big, big win coming in from Legend. 40 points is not a significant lead, but a Shroud screen is certainly going to help. Rockets are certainly going to help here, and the Legend having them and picking up 2 and coming out of it still breathing means that Quadrant surely are in position to win this round.
Unbelievable timing, unbelievable rocket placement as well. 24 seconds left. That's a big double from Legend here. 20 seconds on the clock.
Knows the attention's going to be there. He refocuses. He does damage, but where is Chick in all of this? Where is the rest of Quadrant? They're looking at a victory screen as they win Oddball on streets. 2 rounds to 1. They certainly did. I mean, we mentioned experience, right? Do Quadrant do that last event? Difficult to say. Obviously, you know, we didn't watch every single game from their POV, but you would imagine that that's a lesson that's been learned. We have an advantage. We have a lead. The oddball is almost an extra player for Oddball Streets. Quadrant, not the best game type, but they steal it away from Sentinels, and now we move over to Slayer Livefire. And hey, we need to be better at Slayers if we want to win a tournament. Bound being one of those players on SSG, but for now, I mean, it's interesting because it's Livefire, and it's something that I've always talked about with this Quadrant lineup in comparison to some other European teams we've seen through the years. The mentality isn't, oh, let's try and get top 8. Let's try and get top 6, go home and, you know, with a smile on our face, break a record. It's, what's the point in being here if we're not going to try and win this thing? All of a sudden, the eyebrow gets raised again. It's like, hey, this Sentinels roster is looking pretty damn good as well. So this series certainly still on a knife edge. Game number 1, it was 2 rounds to 1. It was still very, very close. And Slayer, you expect this to come maybe down to 5 or so kills.
Absolutely. We expect this to be a very close one.
But game number 2 is underway here on our main stage. Quadrant 1 up in the series, looking to make it 2.
Yeah, we'll see if Sentinels can bounce back here, keep things interesting, or can Quadrant keep up the momentum that they had in those last 2 rounds. It's a clean and easy grab from Legend on your screen. And
to clean up this damage.
There's 1, there's 2,
that all comes
in. Look at the kill feed lighting it up. You teed him up perfectly, Mark, and that's a clean grab. Look at the patience. This is what I'm talking about from Quadrant.
SLG cleans up 1, 2 members here for Boo Boo. Had to hit the shots and just about did as the overshield comes up.
Oh, that's a big kill there. 3 dead. Chick is your last player alive for Quadrant. Now on paper, this should easily be a grab here for Sentinels as the game gets much closer. Once again, now just a 3-kill game and an overshield grab here for Sentinels. That will now bring the game, once quickly as I say that though, right back to 2 kills, 17-15 now.
Boo Boo picking out that kill on Legend does make it a little bit closer. Heatwave going to be controlled here by Spartan as well. Repulse is up to the tower. He's going to have some great POVs to look at and get all of the information from where Quadrant are rotating as the sniper rifle is about to pop as well.
The perfect time to get into a listen here with the Sentinel side.
Right.
Yeah, he's screens now, guys.
15 OV, 15 OV.
Screens, I got him.
Nice.
On me. Okay, plot.
10 seconds OV. Check smoke. Check smoke.
Yeah,
It's up. Screens right now.
Screens, I was saying, they're gonna grab him right now. Just smoke it.
They're looking at me. You can get it.
Nice, we got it.
They have sniper.
Alright, OV's out. No. 2 more on it. 2 more. Another one. Keys.
One shot keys to bottom mid. I got him. Nice, 3 dead. I think he was small.
I'm
Hey,
about to
two back A on Desi. One could be big door. Really big jail. In A. One shot. Check one shot.
Alright, slow down.
One more jail. Direct on. You ran bottom.
I'm coming to my game.
Trying to look bottom.
One there, big door.
Spawning elevator.
Big door again.
I'm trying to go push. I'm watching.
Big door's still sniping.
Yeah,
Nice,
he's weak
good job.
sniping, jail, one shot. I'm putting A plat. I'm coming, Jesse. He's Keter, one shot. He's one. I'm looking at 2 and A.
Alright, I might be weak.
Try to live.
Alright.
Where guys were?
I have your
Hold
big
on, Mike,
watch.
hold on.
A plot.
Two on Mike.
You got my Keter?
Keter. Dummy over. Cuts, Mike. Dummy over.
Yeah, still me.
On me, scoreboard and one A. Scoreboard and top A plat.
One shot cuts.
Yeah.
One shot on TJ. Yeah, you're by yourself.
Two on me.
Top on a tower on Jesse.
Green.
I can watch your push. I'm sitting green. Top mid.
Two on A plot. We need to get tower or something.
Flat weak. Bottom tower now. Bottom and top tower. One's weak, bottom tower. Really weak.
45 for Ovi.
3 tower and just.
I have shots on top tower. Two elbow, back one. Elbow and back one. They're going. I'm going dummies to Mike.
And top mid.
Tower.
Yeah.
But top mid.
We're down 5.
Tires dummy. Tires dummy.
Yep. OV in 35.
Top mid. I got one. One more.
Heat waves up.
He's on me, dummies. Yeah, he's pillar. Weak pillar door. And dummy door. Both weak pillar door.
Yep.
I got one.
Nice.
Yeah, pillar's weak, Mike.
Was the game slowed down for a few moments, so we jump back into the comms. It's a 3-kill difference, make it a 4-kill difference as Quadrant go back into a lead here.
Yeah, somehow things are going to go down to the wire here in game 2, and you can tell just both teams fighting for their lives. It's a double.
SLG.
Maybe.
Can you make it 3? No, he can't. Falcated wins the big pivotal battle on the tower.
So it's a clean grab here from Sika. Helps with another one. There's more around the corner. It's going to be in the form of Falcated. Nowhere to hide when that overshield is in play now. 41-37.
Fifth will do the damage. The rest of Sentinels now trapped in the back of tower.
This man is wild, just flying back here. He wants even more. Not done yet. Look at all the damage coming in. Finally,
lethal.
He's taken down.
Buys enough time for Quadrant to get on the map, and now he's back in the game. Boo Boo might be his second victim. He finds 2. It's still a 4-kill difference. Middle lethal. Shield's taken down. Spartan.
Wow.
Shield's taken down as well. And Seeker, with this play, might be able to pick up 2. Lethal goes to the skies, but comes crashing back down in the death screen as it's 2 kills now to go for Quadrant.
Dealing damage and not taking any damage in return. Boo Boo might not be able to get away here. Still just 2 kills remaining.
Boo Boo does get away. Somehow, Falcated gets one as well. Boo Boo's still alive as well with that green gun. Overshield coming up, even though it's just 2 kills to go here for Quadrant. 2 kills being picked up by Sentinels with the overshield popping as well. We've still got a game on our hands here.
They're trying to go Rat Tunnel. Rat Tunnel gets pinched. Just a 2-kill game. All down to this final overshield pop here.
Look at this flank though. Falcated spots it out though. He gets the information. Boo Boo, he's there as well. Spartan with a big win. It's a 1-kill game. 49 now for Quadrant. They just need one.
They double team the overshield to shut it down here. 49-47, now 49-48.
No trade. Seeker has to survive. Falcated 49-49. Boo Boo wins it.
No way! Oh my God! Down to the wire, and you see on your screen SLG's reaction. He can't believe it. Sentinel steals the game. They were down 48-42. An unbelievable comeback.
Boo Boo wins it, and I'm pretty sure it was a battle where both players were down to no shield because we saw it from the third-person perspective. But he connects with the shot that mattered to make the series 1-1 on our main stage.
Oh my word. 42
What a
in
comeback.
favor of Quadrant. And what needs to be said, right? We talked about Quadrant's numbers and Strongholds so far. Now it's worth noting that Stronghold Streets might be the weakest of their Stronghold suite, however, is
It's still pretty good.
It's still very, very good. So maybe an opportunity for Sentinels to just take away a few more digs at the Quadrant armor in terms of the Stronghold's game type. However, the bigger concern for me, to be honest right now,
How they closed out that final round, well, now you're seeing the opposite side of that, the complete capitulation in those final moments of game number 2. It's a game they shouldn't lose from that position. It's a game you can't lose. From now, we see how Halo Infinite becomes a mental game, how the teams react, how they come into the next game, and you know, how it kind of progresses, how they want to approach the next game. I feel like Sentinels, honestly, Spartan, we saw him starting to bark a little bit there, right, at the end of that game. He wins the first 1v1 battle against any member of this Quadrant lineup. He is going to get loud, and Quadrant are going to know they're in a fight here.
think about that moment again, and they had 100 more opportunities to play that, they probably win it 99 times, because I think if they realize, they got away key door, but we're still 4 alive, and they're 4 alive, right? We are even 4 up on the map.
We're tied up at 1-1, everyone. It's time to get into map number 3.
And as we said, it's just been a great start to the, not just the series, but an incredible start to the tournament here. We thank you for hanging out with us at the HCS Arlington Major, hosted by Octa Gaming from downtown. The rocket will not connect.
One pretty comfortably, knowing he's got a rocket as well. We can just eat a couple of grenades, and this will be early scoring going to Sentinels. And this is going to put pressure now onto Quadrant. Sentinels know. They smell blood in the water, I think, here in this series, and they want to try and really, really squeeze Quadrant.
Absolutely, they're going to capitalize, and I think they're also veteran players on the side of the Sentinels roster. They know that once you get a 50-49 like that, that is the opportunity to strike. As you say, blood in the water.
In and around the vicinity alongside Boo Boo Doobie to make sure that A is still in the control of Sentinels for now. Seeker though, good damage coming in from him, but I tell you what, that's a landmine being laid down, excuse me, by Boo Boo Doobie.
It's absolutely nuked there, and speaking of a nuke, it's also a very convincing scoreline off the open. 3 dead for Quadrant, while the score also ticks to 40-0 off of the AB hold from Sentinels.
Oh, big win.
Big win from Legend there on Cafe.
Without answer start here for Sentinels. It's been a great start from them, and they're looking to push the triple cap as well.
Spartan with really nice timing on the route there. He sees a player going C stairs, so he goes front C, almost gets away with the AR kill as well.
See, they are scoring, but the reset now comes in after Seeker wins his individual battle over at C. So Boo Boo now trying to pressure onto C. It looks like Sentinels have made the play call that we want to try and take C back.
Nice shots there from Boo Boo Doobie. Picks up a double kill. That will lead to a very nice and clean rocket grab from Lethal. He has to take his own life. In the end, that would be a trade. 1 rocket will be down on the laundry. But the game is now much, much closer here. Boo Boo's the first one to fall in this battle here. Here comes the push. This needs to pay off because 2 dead. Lethal needs to get the kill. He does both, which leads to a 4 dead here. Quadrant will continue scoring, and here comes the first triple cap of the game.
Chick does some damage onto Lethal and plays his life. B seems to be the hold that they want to make sure they're keeping hold of before they try and make a play onto C. But here's Lethal up on top of the trash cans. He claps Chick for a few seconds and puts him in the death screen. Spartan picks up another. Quadrant 2 dead, and finally Sentinels finding a semblance of control and numbers on the map.
As you say, 2 dead still here for Quadrant. It might be 3 dead in a moment there. Lethal gets a trade, and it's a good trade in the back of Tram. Triple cap now in effect for Sentinels. It's now their turn to go on a run. We'll see if they can continue it. 2 dead, though, for both sides. These next 2 kills will determine where the control goes.
Spartan's got a little bit of a decision to make here. He decides to let them spawn again at B. He doesn't want to take an individual battle there, give numbers away. Not only does it mean they're going to keep scoring here, Sentinels, with the AC hold, but also the rockets are coming up as well. But that grenade allows Chick to come in, grab the boom booms, and now all of a sudden Quadrant are broken out of the hold. And now they're going to try and collapse onto C as well. Chick has played this masterfully. He knows that Spartan is still alive, but he knows that Spartan is going to have to turn his attention because Chicken's inside a C. It's going to be another triple cap here for Quadrant.
Wow, Quadrant answering back. We questioned them. We wondered where their mentals would be at. That spike doesn't hit at all because it's a new spike. And now just like that,
Peekaboo!
Boo Boo doesn't check his corners there. Thought the spike might do it for him. Not enough.
And their ridiculous record on Strongholds will hold strong. 2-1 here to Quadrant.
Wow, what a finish there. As I started to say there, Quadrant ended the game before I could even finish the sentence. Do they ever answer back? Let's not forget, they were getting outslayed and outscored early on in that game. A lot of teams would have folded in that moment.
Moments in that game I want to kind of talk about a little bit. And first was the first Quadrant triple cap and how long that went on for and how they was able to just stifle Sentinels. 250 to 104, the final score of that game. A commanding win with Legend leading the way once again in the kills department.
Yeah, that's really the opportunity here. CTF Argyle. Honestly, I got to say, it's a fantastic game number 4 for this series because this has been an unbelievable series to start the tournament off.
Map is set up here on Argyle, and it's going to be down to the snipers. We always talk about it, and it's most importantly going to be down to that control of the camouflage as well. That is the one thing on this map that can create the openings. If you're set up as a 4 alive, you pretty much have a line of sight on all parts of the map. So even if you've got camo, we know how good the camo eyes are of these players. They can spot you out in an instant. So got to pop up so you can cause some distraction and really, really turn the attention away for your teammates to move in, but start off this tournament. It's, you know, the next major. We've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. A beautiful main stage, and you just feel like the gameplay is matching it right now.
It really is. It feels like we've been on just a really good trajectory in terms of where competitive Halo is at this year. Year 2, just honestly, it feels completely different from year number 1 in terms of how close these teams are, and this series really is great evidence of that as well. This is your 8th seed versus your 9th seed, by the way. I think that's showing.
But for Bittersweet, certainly a learning process, and for the ANZ region, certainly I'm sure there will be moments in the future where that team will certainly step up and have some moments of memory, so to speak, and create a few upsets. But for now, we've got to talk about main stage game again, because you can see on screen at the moment that Spartan is having a conversation with the admins, which is usually interesting for sure. But I want to talk about something. Do you want to talk about something controversial? Should we do it?
I'd like to.
You want to?
Yeah,
okay.
No better time than now.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about the tweet.
The tweet.
You know, the tweet. So now,
I remember the tweet.
I will preface this by saying it's what's known as a sub-tweet. We
Yes.
don't know who it was about. We can only speculate.
Don't know.
Okay, we can only speculate. But when we saw the team changes starting to happen, you know,
There was, yeah, I saw it.
we saw team changes starting to go down. And there was one tweet that went out from Spartan, and we all know that Spartan loves to use Twitter.
Yep.
He was saying, you know,
Sure does.
you give so much to someone,
Yep.
and then they don't give it back, and
it hurts.
I don't have the exact wording for it, but you know, we think it was maybe about next team. We don't know. We can only speculate.
But I
But
think-
what did you take away from
Oh, I think the most important thing, right, is that there were bad feelings coming out of that event from DreamHack Dallas on the side of Sentinels, without a doubt, and Spartan had a lot to say about it, right? And he wasn't afraid to make it public either. So I think it's just one thing to look at, that things were not right for that team.
Yeah.
And we said it was going to be the case, right? When you think about top 8, top 12, here you see the tweet on your screen, actually. You could take a look at it for you, kind of saying incredible, you know, you're trying your hardest.
I mean, to be honest, this could be about anyone. This could be about me.
It's probably not about you, but I agree. However, I think the most important thing, and once again, the point here is not to talk about pointing fingers. That's not at all what we want to do or need to do. The most important thing is that there were, as you see, disappointing feelings coming out of the event at DreamHack Dallas. And instead, they knew that team changes needed to happen. And to be honest, with placings as well, we knew they needed to happen. As we said, top 8, top 12 for players like this, it was just never going to be enough. These players have seen, right, the highest of highs on the main stage, and they're going to be looking for that. So that's why we say top 6 or better needs to be what they get, just because it will validate the team changes that they have made.
Yeah, and this is, you know, the great thing about Roster Mania is, right, it means that when we see previous teammates matching up against each other, whoever is on the main stage, there's always that added element and that little bit of extra spice that goes down between the two teams, because there's nothing more that you want to beat your former teammate if a team change has gone down that you didn't agree with, right? And there are so many rosters at this event who have gone through that process. And it just means that it's just every matchup's going to be spicy here, man. Like every single one is going to have that little extra bit on top.
It's true. I think your exact words as you teed up this event this week were everyone hates each other probably, which I think is pretty accurate here. It's pretty rare, to be honest, this early in the season. If you look at the history of competitive Halo through the years, it's pretty rare this early in the season that you have that level of team changes and that number of team changes. Clutch kind of alluded to it on the desk, actually. This many changes all at once is pretty remarkable, and a lot of that has to do with the trade window, the trade deadline of when those changes can happen prior to an event and how close these two events were. But it told you that essentially outside of your top 4, there were a lot of teams that were unhappy. Quadrant might maybe want the Game 5 to have it under their belt, right? Maybe a little bit of a confidence boost and an opportunity. So take a look at the stats in this so far. Quadrant, as we said, up 2-1, Falcated with the highest KD on your screen. Legend, though, with the most damage.
Seeker, he's got kind of that lunchbox role. He's going to fill the gaps. He's very aggressive. He's the first forward. And I'm ready. Everyone here is ready. Everyone at home is ready. It's time for us to get the action back underway here on the main stage. And it is going to be Quadrant, still 2-1 up in the series. That hasn't changed for quite some time. But we'll have to see if Sentinels can win this game here on Argyle and send us to a Game 5, or it'll be Quadrant who come out with the first win in pool play. A huge amount of praise has to be given to Sentinels here and how they have approached those situations.
Wow.
Stick coming in, and Boo Boo.
Wait. It's got to be, the repulse. The rare scenario, I think the repulse actually sent the sticky off of the wall for a split second and actually gave Boo Boo a suicide. Not something I don't think we've seen on the main stage specifically in that exact order.
I think you've seen it all. And then something like that happens, but Spartan now in a position to maybe support his teammate who was running that flag momentarily. Seeking going to try and draw the attention away.
For these two teams really in an all-out war for control. Next camo coming up.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting moment here. Doesn't hit the shot. Chick stays alive, and Chick has to win this fight. Chick wins this fight, but Spartan off the respawn. You can see Boo Boo just about bought enough time here. Spartan, he's going to be trying to send that flag back home, and that's a big defensive play coming in from Spartan there. Seeker gets the next camo. This time he's got a sniper to play with as well, so Seeker has the game in his hands.
3 camos in a row for Quadrant. So that one looked good to me. They finally will have to do a little bit of extra work. Amazing to be able to watch what these camo players can do. It might be a third one shut down, though, by Spartan.
You've seen it. We spoke to Snakebite after the last event. He was saying the French guys are some of the best in the world with this weapon in their hands. The reaction time is nuts, and I mentioned he's a highlight reel. Well, there you go. The flag is moving.
He didn't know about it. He actually knows this.
He knew about it. He knew about it, buddy. Don't worry about that. SLG finds his target. The flag is sent home, though. Chick in a position, however, maybe to get another one running. One defensive play has to be made to shut things down. Spartan is moving that flag. Falcated gets the first camo here for Sentinels as well. And Quadrant, they couldn't do anything with it. The double kill coming in from Lethal, though. This is going to be the first flag going home.
That's 3 dead. Legend here is your last player alive in the engine. He's going to know hold no chance. Falcated with the trade and the double kill as well. This flag's guaranteed to go home.
First time they get a camo. Well, it's a cap here for Sentinels. That is efficiency. Coming in from the team dressed in red on your main stage, and Spartan, having put that flag home, now has a sniper to play with.
Took them 6.5 minutes of play to get that cap in. They worked hard for it. They found themselves losing the first 3 camos, but it's really perfect timing. All the pieces of the puzzle coming together for the side of Sentinels.
Legend will be taken down as well, you'd imagine. Lethal will pick that one up. Lethal picks up a 2 as well.
What's going on down there?
Now you can see, while Lethal's getting grubby in the basement, Spartan's looking for some respawners.
Do not leave Lethal unattended with players down there in the bottom engine. He picks up both of those kills off screen, and it looked like he was going to just fall victim to a 1v2. Instead, he comes out with both.
Chick, who was just coming off of a little push, and Chick gets a stick on his way forward. So now you're going to see Spartan transferring his attention. He picks up 1, and Chick, you might have stuck someone a minute ago, but now you've got a few extra seconds to think about it. Spartan with a triple kill. That's a beautiful way to open the map up.
Wow, you can tell he wanted it too. He just flies in. He's looking for the spawners. He goes bottom base, and guess what? He gets a present. Very happily sees the spawner. Flag run underway.
You could see one thing that was impressive there from Seeker was the prioritization of the situation.
Yeah.
Knew that the flag had to be put home. SLG gave him the cover fire. But now SLG is going to have another sleep here as he gets folded up like a love letter.
Clock, this game's far from over. We have 1 on the board here for Sentinels. They had to work hard for it. Lethal with a big 1v1 to shut down the camo as well. And it's another counter from Sentinels against the camo. Spartan picks up another one as well. 3 minutes left here. That was 3 dead for Quadrant.
I mean, Quadrant can't get past Spartan at the moment. Every single time they're trying to push out, he is just hitting the body shot, hitting the headshot, and that's why he's currently sat at 16 and 10 in this game. Make it 17.
Don't do it. Oh boy, almost tees up another one on Chick. A positive 7 for him. As you say, just holding the mid-map, controlling and patrolling. Making sure that they maintain this 1 flag lead. 2:45 left on the clock.
2 minutes 45, like you say. That's the number to worry about here for Quadrant. For Sentinels, that's the number to hope changes in your favor very, very quickly. Another little quick scope there is going to be cleaned up by Boo Boo Doo. And now Sentinels with Spartan set up and feeling as warm as he is with his sniper rifle at the moment, it's going to be tough for Quadrant to break.
You can tell, look at him just holding every angle and really not missing. Even if he doesn't catch a head, he's always catching the body shots. Another one as well on your screen. And just like that, continuing to hold. It's gone well for the last 30 seconds. 2:15 left.
SLG going to challenge. SLG should know by now that you don't challenge Spartan when he's in this kind of form. It's a killing spree for him. The camo's coming up.
Not grabbed it just yet. It actually is going to drop off event instead of going for the grab. We'll have to see how this plays out for them. Now 2 dead for Quadrant.
Oh, Lethal's going to put it home though, and Sentinels up by 2, and this is their game type. This is a game type they've had a lot of success in. Yeah, this is game. You know, 30 seconds left. It's just not enough time to run 2 flags. It really is as simple as that. Boo Boo's got the sniper rifle! Whew!
Boy, SLG. That's... Oh!
What? That's me, Boo Boo! He's having a little bit of fun at the end of this game.
Wow, Boo Boo just taking his doo-boo and making sure everyone knows it. 10 seconds left in the game.
Losing this game 2-0. Sentinels fight themselves, saying, hey, we ain't done in this series yet. And then after the long break, Andy, we'll go to a game 5.
We indeed are, and Sentinels is ready for it. As I said, you spoke it into existence. I think everybody in the room and everyone at home wanted a game 5 anyway. It feels like this series was worthy of one.
I mean, what a beautiful series this has been so far, right? A game 5 to start it off. Back and forth, 50-49s, and we've just had the last 2 game types, you would argue blowouts on either side. Strongholds, you have to say a bit of a blowout on the side of Quadrant. And then we've just seen Argyle just completely controlled by Sentinels for 95% of that game. It all comes down to the final game of the series. It's a game 5 here in Arlington. It's Aquarius Slayer. Question is, who wants to win the series? As we head into a game 5 here between Sentinels and Quadrant, the perfect way to kick off the Friday here in Arlington.
So much pressure on both of these 2 teams. A back and forth series with neither of them wanting to be the one that falls here in the end. Boo Boo with your first camo on screen.
I mean, probably the most iconic camo player in Halo's got it right now. Spartan picks up the first kill of the game, and here comes the flank now from Boo Boo Doo Boo. But it's going to be an exchange of kills at the start of this game. 2-2 is the score.
Make sure that Chick gets back as well. Look at the damage coming in here as well. Great angles. And now he's going to try to stay alive with the thrust. He has a little bit of help here on the pink side.
He's got a lot of help coming in on the pink side.
Now just a 4-kill lead. Lethal, though, camo in hand. Let's see what he can do.
2 for 2 here for Sentinels. Spartan picks up a double kill as well, and now it's a 2-kill game. Remember what I said just a few moments ago? That's the difference between the 2 teams. It can disappear in just an instant here on Aquarius.
Just in time because he had 2 plasmas, which would have been pretty devastating to fly into a base. He's going to get the second one as well. It will be traded out. However, another great effort from Lethal will bring the game within 1.
1 kill between the 2 teams. It's all tied up, everyone. It's 17-17. Nothing between the 2 teams.
Ooh, look at the shots here. Might even get the second one from Falcade.
Oh, well, Kated!
In a 1v2, wins the battle there. Both players, all 3 players, one shot, wins the 1v2 against both of them to keep the game tied.
The very definition of no shields, no problem coming in from Falcade there. Fade away for that second headshot. But all it means is that Sentinels are tied up. Fal's going to get a lot of info, though, for his team now. As he gets some good damage down on the players from Quadrant trying to flush through that gen.
Way with the camo, not spotted out yet. Sika decides it's time to pull the trigger, and a perfect kill to start things over. Now a 5-kill lead still, but he gets caught out.
He's been spotted out, and it's Falcade again who is clutching up for the squad.
POV, they picked up 2 more kills off of that. Sika knew where he needed to be to get the damage, to allow the separation and create the separation. Chick actually looks away for a second that allows the trade to come in.
Yeah, he thought he had that kill. He thought Lethal was dead to rights.
Neck and neck, they will get the next kill yet again. And the camo as well. This is big. Spartan with the game in his hands. Can he convert with the camouflage? And they will now lose a lead by 1.
Chick trying to take his individual battles. Spartan's going to move in to clean it up. Legend has no idea that Spartan's there as well. Falcade, he'll get the kill, and all of a sudden, Sentinels go into a lead. It's a 2-kill one. It's a slender one.
Love the patience from Spartan there. You might have thought he's not doing enough, but right at the end of the camo, it was perfectly timed. He didn't panic. He didn't get greedy. Instead, he now gives them a sizable lead, but just like that, killing spree on your screen for Spartan. However, it's still just a 2-kill game.
2-kill game. You saw Quadrant picked up a couple. Just keep Legend in a position where he couldn't challenge. Legend, though, finally does get challenged. The damage came in. Seeker trying to clean up the kill, but Spartan is taking over again here. He's 14-10 in this game 5.
It's an unbelievable run, but still just a 1-kill game. Still has 2 plasmas and 2 thrusts to play with. He's got help in the back of the base. That one will come in easy. And now a 2-kill lead, make it a 3-kill lead at 44-41.
Now Sentinels, you get the feeling they're not going to let this one slip. It's a double kill for Spartan, as he is taking over, like I said, 16-10 at this point. And looking to make it 17. Falcator clears it up. It's 46-42.
This is an unbelievable run. What a privilege to watch this from Spartan's POV. They only need 4 kills, and he is just on an absolute tear here.
Yeah, he's full of confidence at the moment, Spartan. He's going to add another one. Falcator steals it away. It's 3 to go now for Sentinels to close out the series.
Making looks way too easy. Spartan just dealing so much damage across the map. He can't be stopped. 48-43, 49-43.
I mean, the man's a walking turret at this point. It's 1 to go here for Sentinels. All they need to do is find one Quadrant player to take down, and the series is going to be theirs. And Spartan does it! Spartan does it!
With a killing frenzy on your screen, and he has the right to pop off at the end of the series. What a way to finish it. Spartan goes 18-10 in a game that they win by 7.
What a difference, right? I mean, Quadrant game 2. Couldn't get it done. They had that same lead. Spartan showing experience, showing how you get it done in a game 5, in a tight game when you have that advantage. Like you say, the medal that pops up, the killing frenzy that comes in, and Sentinels will win your first game on the main stage. And that man on your screen, boy, did he look comfortable doing it.
He looked good. The Sentinels fans in the room also liking what they see. Killing frenzy to end the game there. And what a way to do it. 50-43 is your final score. 18-10 from Spartan, putting the team on his back, and I think you put it perfectly. The man looked like a turret. And what a way, after you talked about it, coming off of that last tournament, a lot of disappointment on the side of the team. You heard it right directly from Spartan. They are convinced that they've made the right changes and committed also to making sure that they have a very different result here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Onset and Brav. Texas, give it up for the Sentinels as they take the first match on this main stage and in an exciting fashion. But for you, Sparty, I know that match probably was just a little bit stressful being down 2-1 there, having to go into those last 2 maps. Quadrant, they were fighting hard. What was the key to success in taking them down?
Honestly, they're like super aggressive and their chemistry is just on point. They're really freaking good. They are a top like 5-6 team in my eyes, and if they're just playing on point, man, they can honestly just take anybody down. They took down Optic last event, right? So big props to them. They're freaking amazing.
Yeah, they are playing hard over there, but you guys were amazing on the stage. And the Sentinel squad, a new look over here. You got 2 new teammates on the team. What has it been like playing with this squad? Okay, some changes here when it comes down to your squad, but it looks like you guys are doing so good so far.
Yeah, I mean, Mike and Jesse bring such a huge dynamic to the team. Mikey's a really good slayer, and he kind of like, me and him balance each other out, and then Jesse's just like the new age Ola. Obviously, no one's ever going to be Ola, but he plays very similar, and that like really helps out. And then TJ's just, he does everything. He's always done everything. I've teamed with Mike and Jesse before, and that was in a different game though. So like we're learning together in this game, and we've only had a couple of weeks together, but I still feel super confident.
It's only up from here for the Sentinels. Any last words you want to give to the fans from supporting you and your career and your squad?
Thank you guys. Honestly, even the haters, like the fuel just, it fires me up so much. People tell me I should retire, like blah blah blah, but like I'm up here and I'm still winning. I'm dropping Frenzy's game 5. Like I'm here to do it. I'm here to win.
Frenzy's game 5, and he's here to do it. One more time for the Sentinels, everybody. Lottie, take us away.
What a big series for Sentinels to come out on top in.
Indeed. I've got to say, though, it really did come down, again, to margins, right? Game-changing moments. The plays that are coming through from individual players and the skills that were on show were massive. And really, for me, that started on Live Fire. And Boo Boo, the end of that Slayer, Gaskin, Boo Boo just had the most incredible moment where really it was in his hands. He won that for the team. And that started where the swing kind of happened. I think you let Quadrant win that Slayer, and things can get very, very difficult very quickly in terms of confidence.
Yeah, you saw the series layout. That was a 3-0 if Quadrant won that game too. I know it's not always as simple as that, but we stressed it before this series started. Slayers were everything at the previous event, and clearly it's evident now that teams have had to have practiced it coming into this event. You have to be able to ice up, and the fact that Sentinels did that, they were down by 6 in Game 2, and they were able to come back. It's not something you often see, especially at the top level of Halo Infinite. So the fact they had that ability to come back into the game, to shut down a very aggressive, a very fast-paced Quadrant, who almost were too fast,